Very fortunate where we're set up, right by the driving range. And we just ran into Davante Adams. He, of course, is now with the Rams, was with the Raiders, and, of course, Green Bay. And pretty good golfer. I was just talking to him. He's a 6 handicap, which, that's where you get to. When you get up there, now you can kind of have fun and compete with everybody. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and now with the L.A. Rams. We welcome in Devonte Adams, who joins us on the program. Saw him out there. We were trying to
what's up, fellas?
Trying to impress him. He was trying to pick out who gave the aura of being a quarterback, and I think Devonte realized that nobody is going to be ready, at least sounding-wise. Seton sounded like Aaron Rodgers with his or no, Paulie did. You gave the green 19.
Yeah,
Yes.
as a lifelong Bears fan, I can't tell you how many times I've watched and saw Aaron Rodgers draw us off sides with the green 19, green 19.
Yeah, your owner definitely he did that quite a bit for sure.
But even you're not in Green Bay anymore, but is there still animosity, hatred with the Chicago Bears? Does that follow you the rest of your life?
Oh no, honestly, I've met so many fans. I feel like I meet more fans in the NFC North now because they actually come forth and speak to me. So I let them know, yeah, it's cool. We can actually be friends now. I don't mind it. I'm in the NFC now, but I'm not in the NFC North. So, I don't hate the Bears anymore. That was just a thing that lasts while I'm there.
Okay, so they'll talk to you now because you're not in the division.
Yeah, correct.
If you were still with the Packers, Bears fans wouldn't be talking.
No, they don't introduce themselves quite as much. I think they tend to hold back when I was with the Packers.
Do you have a favorite story that you tell of your time with the Packers?
That's a tough one. I was there for 8 years, so quite a bit of stories.
You got a Rodgers story that you're going to tell your kids, grandkids?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I can say that. Tell one of them the good ones on the Dan Patrick show. I might get in some trouble, but
well, you can have the language maybe.
Yeah.
If you have to change the language a little bit.
Well, I guess a pretty good story I have is one of the first stories. So my basically first game playing was the Detroit Lions game. I played like 8 plays in the season opener against the Seahawks. We opened up the season, and I kind of got my feet wet in that game. And in the Detroit game, I got a few more meaningful snaps. So I get out there, and one of my first snaps, I'm on the right side, and I'm by myself. And we had a signal that was this, and we had a signal that was this.
Oh,
So,
close.
Very close. So and especially when it's full speed, mid cadence. Aaron said, "Green 19, green 19." So I see that in basically the timing that you got. Now, when you're dealing with a person like Aaron and you come to learn, the details are very, very important, right? So this signal is for when you're by yourself. So you wouldn't get this signal typically if you're over there with another tight end or another, a slot receiver with you. And I was outside. I wasn't playing in the slot as much at that point. So if you get this, it's typically for when you're alone. You get this, that's a 2-man concept, right? I'm just a rookie coming in. It's my second game playing. I'm not really ready to, process all that, especially not mid-cadence, which I don't even know if we ever even did that again after that. I think it might have been a test and I failed it. But I'm over there in the boundary, and green 19, and he does that. So, boom, I almost pooped myself for sure. And then I say, okay, well, I'm going to run the slant. I think this is the slant. So I come off the ball and I run full speed. Now, the problem with that was that the other route is a one-step, like stop right where you are. So you're not moving anywhere, and the ball's coming out immediately. So as soon as I drive off the ball, take that step and stick for the slant, the ball's flying to where I basically was standing before I even moved. And then I'm looking at him. I flip my eyes to him, and then I see the ball. So I flipped it, and I'm like looking back and forth, and I'm like, and he's flying at me just this. When you see that finger come out and he starts skipping, you know it's problems. So I see him skipping over toward me, and I've seen it in practice, but I wasn't. It's less embarrassing in practice because you're around all your teammates, and we were all getting it. He's softened up over time, so he doesn't really do that anymore. But that was 12 years ago. He was a little bit more fiery. So,
but
yeah.
What's that like going back to the huddle?
It's not. Well, first of all, I had to deal with it before I even got to the huddle because he's literally approaching me as this is happening. So I'm going to him and I say, I thought you gave whatever. And then in the moment, I think that's sometimes the worst thing to do, whether it's to your parents, to your uncle, your veteran quarterback, is to say something that isn't like a legitimate response to them.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a legit response because this signal and this signal are damn close. So I'm like, I thought you meant the other one. And then he taught me what details are about. And he says, breaks that whole thing I told you down about the 2-man versus 1-man concept. And you got to be able to take care of that in your head. Like, I'm not going to give you a 2-man concept to a 1-man side. So you have to understand, you got to do the math quickly and make that work. So right then I said, okay, that next week I just dove into the details different. And I mean, the man changed my life because he got me dialed into the, knowing just how important the small things are in this game.
You were in Vegas, and it felt like you can blend in Vegas. You went to a party, I think, and you had people didn't know what you did for a living?
Yeah, that was my daughter's party, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's your daughter's party.
It was her party. We invited the parents of her school and her classmates too. And I wasn't at the school as much at that point. So they had no idea. They see Deja at school. They had no idea that I was her father. So they show up at the house, and obviously it's a little weird for them.
So when do they realize what you do for a living?
Well, they all knew what I did for a living. They just didn't know that I was the one whose house they were showing up to. So they showed up at Davante Adams' house thinking they were just going to their kid's friend's birthday party.
Okay.
And I was there greeting them, saying, hello, welcome to my house.
Did you have your jersey on?
I didn't. I was wearing my helmet, though.
But in Green Bay, you can't walk around. You're not anonymous in Green Bay.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's not as comfortable as I'd like, just period. But in Green Bay, there's a lot more people of fair skin there. So I think just that alone kind of draws a little attention. Not in a bad way, but like, it's like, oh, you're here. So I look a little athletic. So even if they don't know, sometimes they kind of know.
Yeah. So you must play for the Packers.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't know what position, but you look like you.
I'll tell you this. I have my manager who is by no means appearing to be a football player. He is of the darker complexion. I will say that. Mm-hmm. But we go to a Buffalo Wild Wings. It's like my second year. And I'm sitting there with my hood on and I got my strings pulled and I'm waiting for the order. And somebody walks by him. He's like 5'7", not in amazing shape. And it doesn't look like he plays football. And they walk by him, tap him on the shoulder, and go, "Good luck Sunday." just, and that let me know. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'll be outside too much out here.
But Los Angeles, you can blend in.
You can blend in a lot better there, that's for sure. And it's built a little bit more for that. But
have you met celebrities in?
Oh yeah, I've met celebrities. I mean, I played in New York. I played in in Vegas, so I've had the opportunity to come across a lot of people, but LA is full of them, that's for sure.
Okay, but give me oh my God, that's such and such.
Since being on the Rams or just period?
Period.
I mean, your Jay-Z's, obviously LeBron is a big one, and me being in LA, he actually, I saw him at Fanatics Fest in New York just recently. And he's coming through. And anywhere LeBron goes, I don't know if you've ever been around LeBron, they basically, if there's music playing, they cut the music off. It's like the biggest deal in the world. So when he walks through, everybody's just like staring at him. And he came through and he was just kind of walking with security. And then he fully embraced me as like the only person in like the building. And everybody was looking at me like, what the heck? And I wasn't expecting it. I was just sitting there with my water, just kind of sipping. And I saw him and I was like, what's up? And he just leaned over, fully embraced me, started talking about the LA thing and everything. So, I'm just a young, humble dude from East Palo Alto, California, and obviously I know who I am to people, but you lose sight of that when you are, humble and just staying focused on continuing to get better. And when you got a guy like LeBron that'll come in and only embrace you, immediately in a building,
pretty cool.
That obviously means a lot.
What kind of football player do you think LeBron would have made?
He would have been one of the best receivers, tight ends all time, no question. I don't know if you ever seen him play football.
I saw him play a high school.
Yeah, he can fly too. That's the thing. He's one of the fastest NBA players probably all time. I've never seen somebody cover space on a basketball court. Maybe John Wall, Derrick Rose, something like that. But he's up there with all of them.
But you get guys. Whenever I bring up basketball players playing football, and they go, "Yeah, once they get hit one time, and then we'll see."
Well, Brian doesn't help his case by the way he acts on the court sometimes. But I do think it's a little bit strategy in there. So I don't think he's actually like banged up every time. Now, if you're doing that in football, we're gonna have some issues, and that might slow the game up a little bit.
But do you flop?
In football,
Yeah. Like, do you find yourself trying to get a call?
a football flop is like when you're trying to like get under a dude's skin and he pushes you and you do that to get a flag. Not you get some flops like PI flops and stuff like that a little bit, but it's never like the soccer dudes. Like I think soccer is really the worst. Soccer dudes I think it's because the game doesn't stop. Maybe that's what it is. So they really need some breaks in the game.
Yeah.
But these dudes get like touched on their shoulder and they like are grabbing the shoulder, mouth is wide open, screaming and stuff like that. So I think they'd be a little worse off.
Do you have a hit that was a welcome to the NFL hit?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I've gotten hit more than what I would like in this league, that's for sure. But I would say welcome to the league was it was either Dante Hightower my first year. I caught a slant, a high one, and brought it in, and he hit me, knocked the wind out of me. And then I would say after that, probably my second year preseason, we were playing the Patriots, and I ran another slant and thought I was getting busy after. This is before I would wear a mouthpiece, and caught it, and I was getting ready to turn up, and Jamie Collins just hit me in one of these, like in your chest, and then raised up. So it made me bite through my tongue, and I couldn't eat food for like a week and a half. I was on like a strictly liquid diet.
Why don't you wear a mouthpiece?
Well, my reason is going to be even dumber than not wearing a mouthpiece. So.
Okay. Can we guess why Davante Adams wouldn't wear a mouthpiece?
I would love to see what you come up with.
You know what? You have very nice teeth and a good smile. I think for branding, he didn't want to cover up the moneymaker.
You want to keep those teeth. That's why you wear the mouthpiece.
He said it was a dumb reason.
Okay. Yeah. Seton, what do you think?
I think because they taste funny.
All right. Okay. Marvin?
New teeth.
New teeth?
Like you had gotten them done.
Oh, okay. No, that's not it. But I would say it's dumber than all of those, for sure. I would wear a gold grill, like the gold teeth in games. So I wore the tops and bottoms in games. And it started in high school because it was kind of like a culture thing. I grew up in East Palo Alto, and that was a real popular thing. Guys wore grills. And I just decided to keep it, and it was it worked as kind of like an intimidation factor a little bit too. I would see people would see it, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, this dude's wearing gold teeth in the game. Oh my god!" And then I'll talk a little crazier to him too, obviously, and put all that together. So, yeah, not the best reason, and I put one in the next game after that.
He is a 3-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler. Now with the Rams, Davante Adams. How much work have you had with Matthew Stafford?
Quite a bit, man. We got right to it. Had a really productive offseason, and I worked probably some of the hardest I've worked, just feeling really rejuvenated and ready to go and win some games. So he looks amazing too. He looks just like the Matthew Stafford we all fell in love with 17 years ago when he came in doing his thing. So I'm having a lot of fun doing it with him.
How's McVay?
Just like everybody says. I mean, I haven't heard anybody say anything different about McVay. I think of any coach ever spoken about to me, it's been the most uniform feedback ever. And then I got around him, and he completely validated.
He's got some energy.
He's got energy. But it's all legit. It's real. You can feel him. You just love being around his energy, even when you don't do things wrong or you don't do things right, and you may have messed something up. Like you don't feel that like, oh, my coach is gonna come down on me. Like he's gonna correct you and he's gonna hold you accountable. But it's just a different feeling in that building right now, for sure.
Anybody that you're looking forward to meeting here in Tahoe?
I got to look at who's all here this year. I haven't even seen fully everybody, but I've seen a lot of familiar.
Steph and
yeah, I've met all those guys. I was on the par 5 on the other side of the course when he knocked it in on I think it was number 7. What did he hit?
When he had the hole in one?
Yeah, when he hit the hole in one, I think that was 7. Yeah, and I heard it from like the other side of the course. So I felt like I met him then if I didn't meet him before that.
I know that you got a Taco Bell hat.
Yeah.
And so you're flying the colors there.
Yes, sir.
So you walk into Taco Bell and you order what?
2 Crunchwrap Supremes, 1 Doritos Locos Taco Supreme, no tomatoes on either, or 2 of the other, and depending on kind of where I'm at with that. But
okay.
Caramel apple empanada, if they want to bring that back again for me. I did bring that back for a while. Mexican pizza as well. So You guys are completely welcome.
Marvin, he's speaking your language here.
Crunchwrap Supreme for me with the Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
There you go. There you
Let's
go.
go.
You got to go to the cantina in Vegas. They'll throw something in that for you if you're interested.
And just drop your name, right?
Yeah, just tell them you there. Tell them Tay sent you.
Tay.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, you know Tay?
Yeah.
That's my man."
I'll go the cheesy gordita crunch though,
Cheesy. Okay.
and then the Cinnabon delights as well.
Oh wow, you
Going
dipping in
big.
your bag there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we did some research before.
We're professionals here. Attention to detail, just like Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, it's great to meet you.
Great to
And
see you, man.
good luck. I know that you're 6 handicap, so you're getting into that area where you might not improve as much as you did when you're
Correct.
around 9, 10, 11, 12 handicap.
yeah.
Then you see improvement.
100%.
Now you're going to be like, damn, I'm still a 6.
The worst thing you can ever do in golf is get better. I'm telling you. It's the worst thing ever. It's so frustrating. I swear I could just run around just having a sip of Crown and just enjoying the game at 18. Now I care too much about it.
Oh, so you won't sip any Crown Royal out there?
I'll sip, but they were a little stronger sips back then, I would say.
Thanks again for joining us, and good luck this upcoming season.
Thank you. Appreciate
That's
it.
Davante Adams. We'll take a break. Last call for phone calls, what we learn, what's in store right after this.